our police station is the cost of it, and ours is around $2 million, and we hear Sandown's going to build one for about $1 million. So what's your comment on why ours is twice as much as Sandown's?
Well, I think every town's needs are different. I think if you look at the town of Sandown, their population is almost half the size of the town of Hampstead. Not only that, we have 4 times the amount of businesses, that being drinking establishments, that being banks and what have you. And our caseload is twice or 3 times the size of the town of Sandown. So their building is going to suit the needs of the town of Sandown. Our building will suit the needs of the town of Hampstead. Just as the town of Plastow is going to need a much larger building than the size the town of Hampstead has, and the town of Salem is going to need a much larger building than the town of Plastow. Every town has different needs. This is the building that the town of Hampstead needs for today and for the future.
Yeah, we've got more drinking establishments and things like that than Sandown has.
We have, jokingly, I mentioned that we have more pizza parlors than they have businesses in the town of Hampstead, and we do. We have many banks. One or twice have been robbed. We have drinking establishments. We have a state liquor store. We have a Hannaford's. We have a Walmart. We have another Walmart. What's that? Pharmacy.
Walgreen.
We have a Walgreen. We have a tremendous amount of businesses that they don't have, and our needs are much greater than the town of Sandown.
So the building size is really appropriate for the needs of this town. And
exactly.
That really is the answer.
For today and for the future.
It's going.
Okay. So the reason we're here today is to talk about the need for a new police station here in Hampstead. And as you know, the police department has been operating in their current location since 1986. And the building that they're operating in was built back in the early 40s. And it was built as a fire station. In those days, there wasn't a lot of money around, just like there is a lot of money around today. But it was built with volunteer labor and with salvage materials. And remember, that was back in the early 40s. So the building has deteriorated a lot, and it requires a heck of a lot of maintenance. And as you'll see in this video, there are many things that are wrong with this building. Not just structurally, but just wrong operationally. And the chief is going to comment on some of those issues as we tour you through the building. But I'd like to ask the chief a couple of questions. First of all, things that we have heard around town in terms of concerns about the building, or the proposed building. And so, Chief, why are we not building a public safety complex?
The building committee, who has been meeting since 2007, had a lot of concerns reference to where the current fire station is now. One of the main concerns is limited access. It has one entrance in. We believe a complex should have 2, just in case something should happen to that one entrance. People will not be able to get in. Our units will not be able to get out from that building. Number 2, breach of security. If something happens to either one of those departments, whether it be the fire department or police department, it renders the building useless. Both departments will be looking for another location. Most importantly, we're concerned about security. We do not deal with the cream of the crop. If it's always possible that somebody will escape from our building in the process of being transferred, or when someone's coming to bail somebody out, we do not want to see them have access to the Hampstead Central School. By the time we made the call for a lockdown to bring all the students in, have all the building locked down, our units or our officers will be chasing these people through the schoolyard, which possibly could have a lot of young people out there playing during recess. So security is one of the major factors referenced to the building. And again, access, limited access, if something should happen.
Another question is, with the size of the building, is it going to be large enough that we will actually be constructing a jail? Will other towns be bringing their prisoners here to be held by the town of Hampstead?
Well, it's a very good question, because a lot of people are concerned about that. The town of Hampstead's new police station will have 2 holding cells, or 2 jail cells, if you want to call them, and 1 holding cell. Those are strictly for officers' safety. Currently, when we bring a prisoner into the Hampstead police station, we have to handcuff that person to a wall. This will allow us to put a person in a cell while my officer does the paperwork and the process needed to bail or to bring this person to the jail in Rockingham County Jail in Brentwood. These cells will not be available for other towns. If another town has a major emergency, has to use a cell, it will be made available. They will supply their officer, because our station will not be open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Continue.
Reason why we looked at the piece of property over in Veterans Way is, number one, very importantly, it's free. The town already owns that piece of property. We've looked at property on Emerson Avenue. The cost of the property on Emerson Avenue would be in the area from $4 to, at one time it was $900,000 for the land big enough to build the station that the town of Hampstead needs. On Veterans Parkway, the rear of the building will be seen from the Route 121 behind the town garage. The front of the building, where the general public will have access, will be on Veterans Way. So you will see the building from the main street of Hampstead, but the main concern is the property is just nowhere in the town of Hampstead is available.
Go ahead.
Well, we know that Jay Spain has been very helpful in terms of the engineering work and the architectural drawings. And I know they've gone out and had a lot of pricing bids so they could put together a proposal on what this building is going to cost the town. But I just want to know if we have people that live in town that have contracting businesses, you know, electrical, plumbing, are they going to have a shot at any of this work?
What happened was J.H. Spain has been working with us for a new police station since 2007. They were the low bidder in the process in 2007 and 8. They, we hope, will be our general contractor of choice. We set them out with one thing in mind: to get us a dollar figure is to build the Hampstead Police Department turnkey operation. That's what they did. Now that they have given us this number, if this gets approved, any local contractor that would like to submit a bid on any part of this project can do that. So the fact that if you're an electrician or you're a plumber, you're a roofer, if you want to bid on this project after it's approved by the town of Hampstead, the opportunity will be there to submit a new bid or a bid on any part of the work that you want to do after this has been approved in March.
That's great to hear. So those contracts are not locked in concrete at this point. And so if I'm an electrician and I live in town, I have a chance that I can participate in this job, in this construction.
Absolutely. The reason that we took the numbers that we have is we had a very small window of opportunity, a very small window to come up with a number. And he came up with a number to build this building. Anything we can do, any prices we can get less than the original bids, we will take.
I know that there is a chart that has been published by the building committee showing the cost per household, and I think in the town of Hampstead, maybe the average value of a house here, the current assessed value is around $300,000. I think that might be, optimistic about my house even, but let's say $300,000. And so as I'm looking at the chart here, for the first year, which, oh, by the way, won't hit me until the year 2012, but the first year of this 10-year bond would be $87 would be my cost. And it goes down every year. And the last year, which is 2021, my cost would be $60. So it goes down every year. And it's a 10-year bond, and $87 a year for a brand new police station. I think that I'm more than willing to pony up that kind of money. But my question, and a question that other people have asked, is why did we decide on a 10-year bond versus a 15 or a 5?
I think the building committee, again, talked about it extensively over a long period of time. And I believe the 10-year bond was the most efficient for the town of Hampstead. 5 years, the interest rate would have been lower, but the cost per household would be extremely high. In this economy, it would be too much for the people to absorb. 10-year bond, we felt, was excellent. 15-year bond, to be honest with you, it would drag it out over 15 years. But I think the main reason for the 10-year bond recommended by the building committee was the fact that it's a tremendous amount of cost savings over a 15-year bond in interest paid for that additional 5 years.